this government all the way to the next election.
Madam Speaker.
Chris Bishop.
Well, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Never before has a government been elected with so much high-sounding rhetoric, so many good intentions, so many promises, but with such little idea about how to implement those intentions. Let's be clear, the Labor Party did not expect to win the last election because they went around the country spraying promises and money around like confetti. They went around the country promising $20 million here for rare diseases.
Look, I know it is Thursday afternoon, but can I please just have the opportunity to hear the speech being delivered? Thank you.
They went around the country, $20 million for rare diseases here. We'll get rid of school donations in the first year. We'll do first year free for tertiary students and polytech students. We'll massively increase early childhood spending. And then they came to adding them all up. And we said, actually, your numbers don't add up. We've got some experience at this. We think there's a fiscal hole. And they mocked us, and they laughed, and they said, oh, you don't understand economics, you don't understand finances. And what do we find? We find a Labor government in power. We find that they are borrowing more, they are spending more, and they're taxing more. I mean, we are in this very strange situation where the government books are in outstanding shape, thanks to the hard work of us in government, and we are in a global economy is going well, and the New Zealand economy is doing well, and the government is going to borrow more, the debt trap's blown out, they're going to spend more, and on top of that we've got 5 new taxes. There's one tax cut, you've just got to own a good-looking racehorse, so, you know, kudos for that, I suppose, but we've got 5 new taxes. So I want to go through the rhetoric and compare it with the actual reality, because that's what the government will ultimately be held to account on. Does their reality, do their policies mesh with what they're trying to do with their high-sounding rhetoric? Well, the Prime Minister says she will put children at the heart of everything this government does. And in their first 6 months, what have they done? Got rid of charter schools? Charter schools that are helping out some of those kids who need support the most. We got rid of Aspire scholarships, $3 million. $3 million Aspire scholarships cost. They take kids who are successful and have the ambition and potential from low decile communities and place them into other schools. It's gone, $3 million. Jenny Salisa says the money would be better spent in the education system. Do you know how much that is extra per kid in the system? It's 14 cents a year. 14 cents a child. I think we could have kept them. No money for Kids Can. We'll shut down the children's health camps. And you know what the worst thing is? The worst thing is the fees-free policy, because it's $3 billion over 4 years for fewer students. I mean, get that. It's unbelievable. It's a $3 billion policy that does not increase participation. It's just quite remarkable. And what that means is there's no money for the Aspire scholarships, there's no money for the health camps, there's no money for the cheaper GPs visits, there's no money for early childhood education from a Prime Minister that says the early years are the most important and we've got to invest in the early years, and it's $3 billion going to kids who would probably most likely go to university in the first place and gain that degree and the income premium that comes from that, and the Prime Minister is giving them a bribe, because that's what it is. So that's how the rhetoric does not mesh with the reality. And then we get to the police, which is my area. 1,800 new police, there's grand promises, and we're going to put them all on the beat, $1,800. They said it would cost, by the way, just as an aside, they said the 1,800 new police would cost $40 million. That's what the Prime Minister said, $40 million. And we said, no, that's not right. And again, they laughed at us and said, you don't understand how government accounts work. Well, guess what the budget said it would cost? An extra $298 million, which is not quite what we said, which was 252, but it's actually more. So that's just an aside. 1,800 new police, except actually it's not 1,800 new police. It's 1,100 frontline police, 880 of them funded by the National Party in the budget 2017, and it's over 5 years, not 3 years. And Stuart Nash essentially admitted that to the House earlier, so it's another broken promise. School donations, I know my colleague Nicola Willis is upset about that, and early childhood spending. They want to invest in the early years. The early childhood education budget increase funded volume growth. It funded role growth. Chris Hipkins went all around the country in the last year saying he was going to massively increase spending. This is a budget from a government that does not know what it is doing.
Order.
And it is a budget of broken
Order,
promises.
I apologise, your time has expired. I call Chloe Swarbrick.
Tēnā koe te mangai, tēnā koutou e te whare. I just wanted to touch on something